Let's see what is going to happen as the drivers prepare to do battle at Mount Panorama. And here is how the grid lines up ahead of the 22-lap strong race. Pole position, Kanata Kawakami from Lexus, put in a great lap time right at the end of the session. His compatriot and former world champion Takuma Miyazono for Subaru is alongside. Then it's Ryota Kokuman for Mazda heading row 2 with Nabatani for company. Next up is Tomoaki Yamanaka, a stalwart of the championship at the Toyota. He's got Lucas Benelli in the Mercedes-AMG for company. Then Saya Suzuki in the BMW M6 with Sasaki in the Genesis alongside. Next up is Sato in the Audi, not a particularly brilliant qualifying for them, but the big shot is Ferrari, winners last time out, only 10th on the grid for this one, and championship leaders Porsche, down in 11th place with Arthur Mosso making a mistake on his lap. Lotto completes the 12 to drive a strong field. As we said, 3 different types of tyre combat available to the drivers. Kanata Kawakami here, Jimmy, going on the soft early. Seems like he wants to get away from the rest of the pack. Yeah, that is the strategy if you're out front. Use the soft, use that clean air, and just try and drive into it. The thing is, because no one's challenging him on that stint, no one's challenging him on the soft tyre there, that's going to be, he's going to be very happy to see that, because it means he can just use that tyre to the best of its ability. Miyazono, the opposite strategy behind for Team Subaru, going for that hard tyre, as does
Kokubun. So they're going to be the cork in the bottle for the guys on the mediums behind on that first lap over the mountain.
Certainly are. So coming through Murray's corner, the final turn of this Mount Panorama circuit. Drivers are in place. There's Artur Mosso. He's got the weight of the world on his shoulders to try and hold on to Porsche for their championship lead. We're about ready to go racing then, as the grand final of the Manufacturers' Cup is about to go green here at Mount Panorama. Action is about to begin. World Series 3 here in Tokyo is underway. Kawakami leads the field down towards the first corner, followed by Miyazono and Kokubun. Through Hell Corner we go. On the run, up the mountain straight and in towards the mountain section we go for the first timer. Start there, of course, which is spreading the field out courtesy of the rolling start, meaning that we shouldn't see too much action in the first couple of corners, but as we come over the crest of the hill and it begins to tighten up as we head through in towards Griffin's Bend, that's where we'll see drivers getting very close to one another and maybe trying to launch a move before we go into the one-at-a-time section.
I say that already. Look at the gap between Kawakami and Kokubun, who's got through past Miyazono. They're really struggling for speed on that first lap, dropping down from P2 to P4. Kokubun out front now on that hard tyre. Nabatani, the first of the medium runners, eager to get through as well. But look at the gap, 2 seconds already to Kawakami out front. This is exactly what he wanted.
Amazing start there from Kanata Kawakami. You can see here Kokubun, he's going to be a bit of a cork in the bottle. Nabatani's on the medium tyres, so though they're not the fastest compound, they will be that bit quicker than Kokubun. Miyazono also on the hard tyres, struggling to get them up to temperature in the first few corners. Keep an eye out also for Yamanaka in the Toyota Supra. There is Kawakami pulling out nearly 3 seconds by not even the end of the first lap. Through the Forest Elbow we go and down the Conrod Straight for the first time, and you can see how nose to tail it is throughout the rest of the field. Down the Conrod Straight we go. This is where we'll see the slipstream coming into effect, and what we should see the medium shot runners breezing past the hard shot runners. Here is Yamanaka on the back of Miyazono. That Subaru's not ever been particularly quick in a straight line. Miyazono in the Toyota draws alongside his compatriot and goes through into fourth position before we've even reached the end of the straight and in towards the chase. Oh, and wide there as well for the Honda of Nabatani. Kokubun ready to try and take profit of it, but Nabatani just about manages to hold firm in second for now.
4 seconds is a gap on lap 1. Kawakami's just gone, right mate, I'm going to win this, see you. He's just left the field behind. Obviously, long race yet to go, but that's about as good a start as you can have, I think. Meanwhile, the battle for second and the rest of the hard and medium runners are pretty much all stuck together as we come onto Mountain Straight for the second time now. This is where we get to see the straight line speed of the cars. I mean, take a drink for every time we said that Subarus are going to struggle in a straight line, because that's going to be a big factor in this race.
It certainly is, and I'll tell you what, not a particularly brilliant start for the likes of Mosso and Hashima. They're still 10th and 11th as Yamanaka breezes past Miyazono heading in towards Griffin's Bend.
What can you do?
No, absolutely nothing. That's it. He's just a sitting duck at this point, isn't he? So Kawakami here, he's trying to break away from the rest of the field, isn't he? Well, he's already done that, 4.1 seconds. I think he's trying to channel his inner Igor Fraga. If you remember, what Igor loves to do is lead from the front, doesn't he? Doesn't like to get bothered by anything behind, and, well, he's clear as makes no difference for the rest of the field. He's not going to be bothered at all, is he?
Yeah, we had Igor Fraga here at our lovely venue, hyping up Kawakami before the race up on stage, so maybe those words helping me out a little bit, of course. Here are our drivers, you can see in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, soaring away at the wheel. It's hard work, this, on the sim. You wouldn't think it is, but you can really work up a sweat trying to hustle these cars over the mountain here as they'll come down one at a time. On replay now, this is Kokubun and Nabatani. I think this is the overtake we saw earlier. It's even rough from the replay. Let's see it again. He was through there, but I think he overshot it, as you said there. Went a bit wide. Kokubun tried to come back, and looks like they just about avoided contact there. Very nice, clean driving, but Nabatani sending it like a mile into that left hand.
Yeah, fantastic overtake there from Nabatani to be able to hold that one going through that chicane. You can see meanwhile further back, as I said, Mosso and Hashima not making the progress that they would have wanted to. I wonder, and I'm not a strategist or a racing driver by any stretch of the imagination compared to these drivers, but if you're looking at Mosso and Hashima, surely I'd have thought that the sensible money would be to get onto a quicker compact tyre and go and make as much progress up through the field as you can, as we see Miyazono getting off the hard tyre at the end of lap 3.
Well, Miyazono then opting, as you say, just to box and get off that tyre. It's always been the way in these events that the hard tyre is kind of just lava. You don't want to be on it at all. But it's one of those things where you you want to try and do that in a good spot in the race. So when you do go onto a faster compound tyre, we're about to see what Miyazono and Suzuki are going to bolt on a fresh set of Michelin tyres. Not quite sure what the compound's going to be just yet. Still waiting for them to make their way to that pit box. There is Miyazono. So what's he gone for? Soft tyres. Okay, that is an interesting strategy. So what he's done there is giving himself a massive amount of space. Look, there's no one in front of him now. And now he can just try and hot lap because he knows if he's racing other cars, they're getting the draft. He can't keep them behind him. So he's going to try and basically gain time.
That's going to worry too much about Suzuki as well, because Suzuki, though he's come out relatively close to him on circuit, he's on the medium compound of time. Now let's have a look here at Coquelin versus Yamanaka up the mountain straight. This is for third position then, so side by side these two drivers going. Yamanaka just breezing past once again, and also Benelli getting overtaken there by the Audi of Sato, so that's up into fifth position as well. Now the field beginning to spread out a little bit. You can see the medium shot runners breaking away a little bit from the hard shot runners, aside from Coquelin, who's still got Sato all over his rear wing.
Yeah, good fight here for fourth place between Mazda and Audi. Interesting, the gap from Kawakami. Oh, Sato, much quicker on exit there, runs into the back of Coquelin. That's about as rude a hurry up as you can get there from the Audi driver, and now they're going to be drafting down the straight. Now look at the bump I saw down there. Sure, looks like they're maybe using the old stock car tactics there, trying to gain a bit of time on the cars in front. Will Sato go for the middle? There goes, look at the mirror too, Benelli's there. So up the inside goes Sato, up into fourth place. Does he yet? Coquelin runs a bit wide. Can Benelli take advantage of that? They're now just about side by side. I think that Coquelin comes out ahead, but that's what happens if the racing is so close. If you lose one position, you end up losing another one just because you're offline. Coquelin there deciding, you know what, I've had enough of hard tyres, I'm coming into the pit lane. But what I was going to say before all that started is the gap at the front stopped growing. And Namatani there, who was sort of giving it all that in qualifying, is now his medium compound tyre and matching Kawakami on lap time. Well, about 2-3 tenths slower a lap. To be honest, that isn't so bad around here.
No, normally you'd expect the gap to be about 1.2 seconds or so between the different compounds of tyres. So interesting to see there for Kawakami versus Namatani. We'll keep an eye on that. Coquelin's off the hard tyre. He goes on to the mediums then for his middle stint. Dotto also coming into the box in the Chevy Corvette from the hards, likewise on to the mediums. Now Coquelin ahead there of Sayo Suzuki. That's pretty important, but he's going to be able to retain that position as he comes up the mountain straight in towards Griffin's Bend, because this could upset Coquelin's race here. He wants to try and run in clear air. Down the straight we go. Suzuki's on the outside. He's got the slipstream and he's got the place really easily there, and that's not what Coquelin needed. The crucial thing when you're coming out of the pit lane, you're trying to get the undercut compared to some of the other drivers. You need clear air. You don't need to be battling with something that's out of position compared to you, and that is going to really put a spanner in the works for Coquelin and Mazda.
Yeah, this is what we kind of meant about pitting at the right times. Here's Mosso and Hashima, our current first and third place in the standings at the moment. They're going side by side, just about keeping things there. Championship standings, that is a similar name for the race at the moment, but a drag race all the way down Mountain Straight. So this is great to watch for these guys, and great battling. But of course, if they are swapping positions like this every corner, this will cost them a little bit of time. Also does go up the inside there finally on Hashima, but yeah, very close these guys right now.
Yep, and then getting the better of the Ferrari driver. Here is Kawakami still continuing on. Having a look at the sector times, they're looking pretty okay still as it stands for now. He's just, as we said earlier on, driving a nice clean race. The gap up to nearly 6 seconds, and you can see there a look at the tyre wear as well. His front significantly more worn than the likes of Nabatani, Yamanaka and Sato on the medium tyres who haven't pitted.
Here the car from the corner, the tyres are screeching. And actually, he was slower through the last sector than both Nabatani and Yamanaka behind on the medium compound tyres. So I think he's already, Seiton, he's really worn those fronts. We heard him actually just before going to this race with Sasha saying that he's a bit nervous about tyre wear in this car. And we're seeing that already. They're struggling, that front end, really pushing on. So understeer, if you're unfamiliar, basically, think about it if you're about to hit a wall. If the front hits the wall first, it's understeer. If the rear hits the wall first, it's oversteer. And at the moment, the front is really pushing out. He can't get the car to turn as much as he wants it to. And those tyres are screeching in protest. And it's only going to get worse as the tyres get more warm.
Yeah, if you want a sort of more literal example of that, go to a supermarket, fill up your shopping trolley right at the front end, and then try and turn it. That's understeer for you. Kawakami on board with him. The gap coming down to just under 5.5 seconds. It's still a nice comfortable position for him. He's just going to drive as cleanly as he possibly can. Try and eke these soft tyres out for as long as is viable. He doesn't want to stay on it forever because obviously they're going to fall off the cliff at some point. That performance is going to go, and if he's on them, he's going to be a sitting duck later on in the race. You've got to time this tyre change to perfection, and Kawakami, you can see him there nice and smooth on the steering, just one solid movement going into the corners, not trying to soar away at the wheel, and just trying to keep that gap at a constant. So this is what we usually see in these GT World Series races. Is it starts off pretty exciting, we get different drivers on different strategies all sort of working themselves out, then we get a little bit of a lull sort of in the middle stages, and then once it all works out with strategy later on, you've got different drivers on different tyres who have pitted at different times. That's when the race will really begin to come alive. I don't think Kawakami's going to be boxing on this lap or indeed the next lap, but it's certainly going to be on his radar before too long.
Interestingly, Nagatani is kind of matching Kawakami percentages, so keep an eye on that gap. Here is Suzuki, the BMW, trying to go past Tokyo. Of course, both these guys have pitted already, and Cookman's decision to pit early, maybe not the best one for him as he gets overtaken in a straight line.
Yeah, that's a re-overtake as well. We saw an overtake there, coming in a couple of laps ago. Cockburn managed to get ahead of Suzuki, and then Suzuki's gotten ahead of him in turn again. So Cockburn there now 1.5 seconds behind Suzuki. Crucially, he's out of the slipstream range. As we've got Benelli for AMG, Sasaki for Genesis, and Hashima for Ferrari, all in the pit lane then here on lap 6.
So second and third both lapped quicker than first place on the last lap. So those medium tyres now are starting to come into their own as the soft tyres start to wear. So in comes Benelli going onto that soft compounder tyre now. Let's see what he can do on this stint. Comes out in traffic behind. I think that was Kokubun and Suzuki. So he's going to drive up to the back of these guys and have to get by on circuit. So not ideal for Benelli, but we'll see if he can make the best of it. So watch Kawakami come over the mountain for the 6th time. Those front tyres now really starting to get to the danger zone, especially down here. You do not want those front tyres, that front right tyre in particular, just knocking down there to 24%. And that for a corner like this, Forest Elbow coming through here, that front right tyre is pushing on. You're just trying not to put the car into the wall on the outside. That's going to get tougher and tougher. And I won't be surprised if we see him pit very soon.
Yeah, I wondered if it would be actually the end of this lap. Come to think of it, I said earlier on I didn't think it would be, but to be honest, the tyre wear has really gone down quite significantly for Tanaka Kawakami here, and I'm sure he's going to be thinking about that either this lap, if not the very next lap for the Japanese driver. So coming through into the chicane we go. Now, does Kawakami box at the end of this one? Just to remind you, Lexus second in the point standings, 2 points behind Porsche. Points awarded for the top 6 drivers. Kawakami decides to come in then into the pits. A bit of a late call there for him, but all is fair and okay. They practice these pit entries all day. And Kawakami then, where does he go now in terms of the strategy? Does he go to the hard tyre for this middle stint, or does he try to go on to the medium tyre and try to weather the storm a little bit? Either way, he's going to lose the lead here. Nabatani and Yamanaka, who are yet to pit in this race, continue on, and they will take over at the front of this one. Kawakami in the box. We still wait for the decision on where he's going in terms of his tyre strategies. He comes in for a new set of Michelin tyres on his car. He goes to the medium tyre then for the middle stint. That seems quite sensible for him, so he's going to try and go for a long middle stint here in this race and then run the hard tyres at the very end of this one. The thing is, what this does now then effectively kind of locks in the strategy for the likes of Nabatani and Yamanaka, because they need to be on the soft tyre at the end, because their nearest competitor in theory is going to be on the slowest compound.
So interestingly, Miyazono, of course, who pitted earlier on for those soft tyres a bit earlier in the race, fastest man on the track at the moment, also has the fastest lap of anyone at 2:06. Very impressive in race trim with that fuel in the car. Is now 5 seconds behind Kawakami on the road and is on the faster tyre. For now, though, of course, the advantage this Subaru has being a little bit lighter than the other cars out there. It does go through the tyres a little bit slower than the other cars out there. So you might wonder, oh, it's not fair, this car's slow in a straight line, but it's fast in other parts of the circuit, which is what makes the manufacturing series so unique. So many different brands, different approaches to going fast, and they're all using, of course, our balanced performance system, have a very similar lap time. So it's always very, very cool to watch the awesome onboard shot of Miyazono. I mean, surely, if you're unfamiliar, one of the Gran Turismo greats is Takuma Miyazono, and with Team Subaru as well. Been a long-time Subaru driver, taking this manufacturer to the the series win a couple of times in the past as well. I wouldn't want anyone else's car. I think maybe Mick Gazelle. Come back, Mick, we miss you.
Don't forget about the QR code on your screen at the moment as well for more information about drivers if you want to find out a little bit more about the men behind the wheel of the cars at the moment. I was trying to work out a way of putting that.
That would be a great opportunity. That would be an amazing opportunity.
Certainly would. So here is Miyazono then. Soft tyres for him. Of course, they're going to wear that a little bit quicker. Started this one, as you can see, on the hard compound, but he's running the softs in this middle stint of the race. He's in a nice bit of clear air at the moment. The gap between himself and Kawakami pretty stable as it stands for now, but Miyazono will be starting to eat into that before long.
Let's have a look at the lap times. Yeah, 2:1.3, 2:1.4, sorry, last time out. Of course, Kawakami with the box 2:3.7. So the gap has it's stabilised around 5 seconds between the two. So I think Kawakami is using that medium tyre, and Miyazono is coming to the end of the life. And let's look at the background there, as scary to see, isn't it, when you're in a little Subaru trying to make your way down the straight, lots of cars in the background. Meanwhile, Navatani still leading, 3 seconds of win over Yamanaki, Kokuban and Suzuki. This battle continuing. Apparently, Kokuban goes back past Suzuki in the Mazda. They're being clever about it, though. They're doing it on the straights. They aren't fighting in the corners. These guys, they know how to race each other. They know how to be quick over a race distance. One is different to be quick over a single lap and over a race. And these guys have raced together for many, many years. So definitely a little bit, and
it's did it quite nicely on his tops. To the half. Through to line, everything is going to stand.
Bill wants to get up the end of the
Just love this onboard shot. It's so fantastic. Threading the eye.
Bye.